In life, there are many things that are out of our control. The weather, traffic, and other people's opinions and behaviors are just a few of many things that we simply can't control. However, there's plenty that we do have control over, and today I'm going to be discussing this in much more detail. But before I begin, I have a question for you. Are you a woman wanting to gain the clarity necessary to make a change in your life, but you're unsure what your first step should be? If so, make sure click on the link below this video to watch my free video training where you'll learn the first essential step to making a positive change so that you can prioritize what is most important to you. Also gain peace of mind and the motivation necessary to create an exciting new chapter in your life filled with confidence and purpose and passion and also connection. In this free video, you'll learn the first essential step to making a change in your life, 6 key elements involved in this first step, and a bonus step, the second step in the process, to keep your momentum going. Plus, you'll receive a free download to help you get started today. So make sure, click on the link below to learn this simple step-by-step process about how to make a positive change beginning today. Now, let's talk about what you have control over in your life. And I'll also be discussing a little bit later some areas of your life where you don't have any control. And although it may be tough to hear, it's necessary to come to grips with this reality so you can focus all your energy on where your power lies. So there are 3 areas that I want to talk about with you today that are super important for you to focus on from now on. And the reason why it's so important to focus on these 3 areas is because you have complete control over them. And when we focus on what we can control in our lives, we are much more likely to manage our emotions better and also improve our relationships with family members and with friends and also our colleagues. One of the most important things that we can control is our attitude. And our attitude encompasses our overall outlook on life, and it influences our thoughts and our feelings. And we can choose to have a positive attitude or we can choose to have a negative one. But know that either way, it truly is a choice. And this may be hard to wrap your head around, especially if you've had a tough day or a tough week or even a tough year. But it truly is a choice. Remember this. I love this quote by Viktor Frankl from the book A Man's Search for Meaning, which says, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." And Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor and a psychiatrist, and he wrote about his experiences in the concentration camp. And he discusses that although there are many things in life that we may be beyond our control, such as our physical environment, our health, or other people's actions, we always have the freedom to choose our own attitude towards these circumstances. So he talks about how our attitude ultimately impacts the outcome of a situation. And by choosing our own way and maintaining a positive attitude, we can find meaning and purpose in even the most difficult situations, as he did in the concentration camp. Another thing that we have control over is our behavior and how we react or we respond to situations or circumstances. And we can choose to react in a way that is positive and productive, or we can choose to react negatively, which you and I both know how that most likely will turn out. But when we focus on responding in a positive manner or stepping away to regroup before saying anything we may regret later, we're better able to maintain a sense of calm while building our resilience muscle and also increasing our ability to cope with difficult or stressful situations in the future. Now, the third thing that we have control over are our thoughts. And while it may be true that our thoughts can be influenced by external factors such as our environment or past experiences, we ultimately have the power to shape our thoughts and beliefs. One way to do this is by practicing mindfulness and becoming more aware of our thoughts, which allows us to challenge negative or unhelpful thought loops and replace them with more positive and constructive ones. Now that I've addressed what you do have control over, I think it's important to talk for a minute about what you don't have any control over. I've found over the years in working with my clients that this is an area of struggle for so many women. We tend to focus so much time and so much energy on things that are truly out of our control, and we spend very little time focusing on what we have control over. So let's dig in to the 3 most common areas where you have absolutely no control. The first thing we have no control over is other people's actions. As human beings, we have agency over our own actions, but we cannot control the actions of others. And this means that we don't have control over how others respond to us, or how they treat us, or how they treat others, or what they say, or the choices that they make. Each person has their own set of values and their own priorities that guide their behavior. And while we can influence these factors to a certain extent, we can't dictate or control them. It's important to acknowledge this and to focus on our own actions and our choices rather than trying to control others to behave a certain way. So while we can set boundaries and communicate our needs and expectations, we can't control how others will respond or behave in the future. And ultimately, we can only control our own actions and reactions to the world around us. The second area we have no control over is other people's beliefs. We have the freedom to believe whatever we choose, and this extends to others as well. Each person's thoughts and their convictions are shaped by their unique experiences, their upbringing, and their personal values. While we can engage in discussions and debates with others to share our perspectives and challenge their beliefs, ultimately it's up to them to decide what they choose to believe. Trying to control someone else to believe what we believe can lead to conflict and tension and can really strain relationships. So it's important to respect each person's right to their own beliefs and opinions. The third area that we cannot control is other people's feelings. Just as we don't have control over other people's actions and their beliefs, we also cannot control their feelings. Each person experiences emotions in their own unique way, and their feelings are influenced by a multitude of factors, including past experiences, personalities, and current circumstances. While we can take actions that may influence how someone feels towards us or a situation, ultimately, it's up to the individual to interpret and respond to their own emotions. And trying to control someone else's feelings can be harmful and can undermine the trust and respect in a relationship. Instead, it's important to listen to and validate others' feelings while also setting healthy boundaries for ourselves. This may seem like a lot, but trust me when I tell you that once you're keenly aware of what you don't have control over, this will help you focus your energy on areas in your life where you do have control. Focusing on things that are out of our control can lead to feelings of helplessness and anxiety and frustration. And when we focus on these things that we can't control or we can't change, we tend to feel powerless, and which can really cause us to become fixated on negative outcomes and potential problems. And this can lead to a cycle of rumination and worry that can negatively impact our mental and emotional well-being. Also, when we're so focused on the things that are out of our control, we might neglect the things that we do actually have control over. And this can then cause us to miss opportunities to take action. It may cause us to overlook the positive aspects of our lives and the things that we do have the ability to change. So moving forward, I encourage you to focus your time and your energy on what you do have control over, rather than worrying about what you're unable to control. And by doing this, you can cultivate a strong sense of agency, which can help you to better manage stress and build resilience in the face of challenges. I hope that you found this information helpful, and I would love to hear from you in the comments below about what your biggest takeaway was. Have a great week ahead.